Hi folks, welcome back to D versus Debt. I am D and I am here with an exciting update for my March goals. So it is March 22nd and there's over a week left in the month, but I've already completed my 3 goals for the month, my 3 financial goals, and so I'm very proud, I'm very excited. So if you're new to the channel, here is my list of goals. So let me go ahead and read them to you. So the first goal, because I just refinanced my house, was to get 1 month ahead. So my first month's payment wasn't due until April 1st. I went ahead and paid that month ahead of time, and so now I'm actually paid through until May 1st. So that's when my first payment is officially due, because I paid ahead of time. So that is done. I'm paid a month ahead for that. For number 2, my goal had been to put $1,500 towards principal. Now that was pretty lofty, but I did have tax return money to put towards that, so that's why I ended up meeting that pretty early on into the month. In fact, instead of putting $1,500 towards principal, I was able to be very frugal this month, very thrifty, and I ended up actually putting $1,691 towards my principal. So that pushed it down to exactly $68,000 that I owe on the house right now. So that was actually just completed yesterday. It was payday for me, and so I put in that extra money. I looked at my budget and I figured out where I can cut corners. I thought, okay, putting that extra almost $200 above my goal is gonna kind of, require me to be a lot stingier for the next couple of weeks until the next payday rolls in, but I can do it. It can be done, and so that's gonna help shrink how much I pay long term for my interest. So totally worth that little sacrifice. And my baby step number 3 was to fully fund, my goal number 3 was to fully fund baby step number 3. So I met that pretty early on in the month. Going into the month, at the end of February, I had 80% of that goal ready. And now with the first paycheck of the month in March, I ended up fully funding my 6 months of savings. So that money's tucked away. I'm pretending it doesn't exist, and it's just there in case of an emergency. So I have 6 months of expenses saved, and somewhere where I can't access it unless there's an extreme emergency. So the cool thing about it, when I was sitting there crunching numbers and thinking, okay, what can I do to save money? What can I do to put more towards my mortgage payment, my debt as soon as possible? I started doing the numbers, and I actually I emailed my finance officer, and I asked her for an amortization schedule where it says every single month of your payment how much actually goes to principal and how much goes to interest. And it's pretty eye-opening, and if you haven't looked at yours, the numbers, it's pretty alarming. So for example, for me, because I just started my new loan, my refinance of the house, a big chunk of my payment, my monthly payment, goes just to interest. So by dumping a bunch of extra money, whatever extra money I can, towards the principal only, what ends up happening is for the next payment, the amount that goes towards interest shrinks a little bit because your loan is smaller. The amount that you owe for your principal is smaller, which means your interest is a little bit less. So looking through my amortization, I can't even say, I'm too excited right now, you guys. So looking through that chart, I looked at how much $68,000 is, how much the interest will be for that, and I broke down the numbers, and then I looked through the chart. And so now that I knocked my loan down by $2,000 for the next payment coming up, the amount I'll be paying towards interest, and I'm looking here to make sure I don't mess up my numbers, the amount I would be paying towards interest would be the same as if I had just made regular payments. It would be the same as month 8. So basically I jumped 8 months in 1 month just by dumping all that extra money into principal. So crunching even more numbers, I also realized I can have the house paid off in 3 years if I just go ham, if I go crazy, and I'm able to scrape enough to put a couple of $1,000, which is a ridiculous goal, but it's doable. So if I really pinch my pennies and I put a couple $1,000s a month towards my house, I can have them paid off in 3 years, which is so amazing. So when you think about it, like, well, who has that much money? Right now I am pulling in some side hustle money from a job I'm covering for my friends. So I did that, for part of February, did it all of March, we'll do it for part of April. I already lined up a side hustle for the summer, a part-time job, as well as teaching summer school. Things like that I'm putting together, I'm lining up, so I will be having extra income coming in. Also, when I thought about it, before I paid off all of my other debts, I was kind of paying that much anyways, because I had to, make my mortgage payment. I had to make my car payment. I had to make my credit card payments. I had all these other bills that were due every month. And now that everything is out of the way and all I have is my mortgage left, I'm basically putting the same towards the mortgage that I had been putting before towards, the car note and the credit cards and the, everything else. So even though $2,000 a month sounds really scary, like I said, it is possible when I really think about it. And when I'm working these extra jobs just to have that money go towards my house, towards my mortgage debts. So part of that process is to look at my cash envelope system. So I am going to revamp my cash envelope categories. I actually have a lot more now. And I'm going to go back to not having a credit card. That's going to make a huge difference. So before, I was paying my credit card every week. After I paid off all my credit card debt, I went without a card for a while. And then I started, like, okay, I can do this. I can handle this. So I had an Amazon reward card. And it was nice because, again, paying it off every week, I wasn't paying any interest on it. And I was earning free Amazon purchases. So like little Amazon gift cards every so often, which is a nice little bonus, it's kind of like a reward for being responsible with it. However, I did notice I was spending more money than I should have. And that's just, I think, typical behavior on my part anyways, versus when I had to pay for something with cash. Like today I had a meeting on one of my campuses at school, the Sierra Vista campus. And so once I meet there, I run around and pay bills and I do errands and stuff like that. When I use the card, I charge up a lot more. And today, because all I had on me was cash and I wasn't letting myself touch the card, I hardly bought anything. And that's just a natural reaction. I have seen where, and I've heard Dave Ramsey say as well, that there's a center in your brain that actually feels pain when you pay with cash. And it's true. I feel it. Like when you swipe, there's no real connection. But when you're sitting there counting your dollars and seeing that number of bills in your wallet shrink, it's like, ouch, panic. It really does work. So because of that, no more credit card for me. Even though I was responsible with it, I was spending too much. And even though I was paying it off every week, I was still spending too much. So from now on, every single paycheck that I have, I'm going to take out $360 in cash, and that's going to cover everything. So this is the way my categories break down. I'm going to have $80 per pay period for groceries, so that's $40 a week. I am on a diet, and having a $40 a week budget is going to mean I eat less, which is good. It works out in that way. So less money, less food, less weight on my hips soon, hopefully. So that I'm okay with that. For gas, I'm going to take out $60 a paycheck. So that is $30 a week, which is about average, about how much I spend anyways commuting to school and back. For my pets, $60 a paycheck, $30 a week. So that works out just fine. My fund money is $40 a paycheck, so $20 a week. That'll be my budget for my, blow money to use whatever I want to use it on. Restaurants, $40 a week. I'm sorry, $40 a pay period, so $20 a week, which, is basically just about one time a week going out to eat, which is, I think, perfectly fine. I think that's doable. I'm also going to do $40 a paycheck for home expenses, so $20 a week, which is basically like toilet paper and carpet powder and dishwashing stuff, things like that. So I think I can do $20 a week for the house stuff. I think I'll be okay. Gifts will be 20 a pay period, so $10 a week. And then classroom is going to be still $20 a pay period, which is $10 a week. However, for the summer, obviously I won't have a physical classroom. I'll just be teaching one online class. So in the summer, I should be able to really wean myself off of my classroom spending. Usually in the summers when I stock up on, you know, novels and classroom supplies and things like that. But I think this year I'm just going to be like, no, you know, calm down, cool it with the spending, and kind of take a break this summer instead and use that money to put towards debt. And then once school starts again, then, you know, start spending on the classroom stuff again. So again, that comes out to $360 a paycheck. And what I'm hoping to do is to, even though these numbers are pretty low, I think I'm actually going to try to see if I can be stingy and not use all of the money that I have, my allowances basically for my cash envelopes, just to see if I can still put even more money of that towards my debt. So between saving money and being stingy with my cash envelopes and my side hustles this summer, my part-time jobs, and just all these steps that I'm taking, I think I'm going to do pretty well at really attacking my debt over the next few months. So April, I'm pretty positive I can meet the $2,000 goal to put towards my mortgage. May might be a little bit crazy. It's the last month of school. But then once summer rolls around, I think it'll be great. I think I'm going to do just fine because my new part-time job will kick in, as well as the fact that I won't be spending as much on gasoline because I won't be commuting every single day. So anyways, that is my March goal update. I did it. Yay! Hooray! I'm so happy. And then my goals going into April. I honestly think I can buckle down and, you know, be strict with myself and pinch the heck out of those pennies and end up putting $2,000 towards my principal in April. Knock on wood. Let's do this. All right, so I'd love to hear what your goals are. Also, because technically I am in baby step 4 right now, I'm absolutely clueless when it comes to investing. I honestly have no idea of anything. Today at school, I checked out this book. It's called The Millionaire Teacher, The 9 Rules of Wealth You Should Have Learned in School. And so it says it's about a teacher, a school teacher, so obviously I can relate, who quietly invested money and ended up being able to retire early and had a very nice nest egg, basically, because he was smart with his money. And because I am absolutely dumb with my money, I need stuff like this. So if you have any, you know, suggestions, any ideas about what I should read or watch or do when it comes to investing, I would really appreciate any advice, because again, I know absolutely zero about that topic and I'm actually pretty nervous about it. So anyways, thank you for watching, and I look forward to hearing your advice as well as your goals and your inspiration. Thanks. I'll see you soon.